East Coast 1010 W-VHS, the Enthusiast, here with my colleague Ed Hardney. Tough loss for the Knicks last night. The Nick killer Paul Pierce looked like he came through with the big three to tie it up, bring it to overtime. But the one thing that stood out during that game was Rajon Rondo's performance.
Yeah, I mean, well, this week they were talking about some hostilities between Rajon and his superiors, but obviously those were put to bed because he played great, played well with his team, respected the coach, and they turned out all right.
Triple-double, you don't see that.
Not too often.
You don't see that many rebounds from a point guard.
Yeah, it's surprising. Makes you ask, what's Garnett doing? I mean, he's getting older. He's been there for, what, 7, 8 years? How old is he now? Like 38, 39?
No, bringing up Garnett, there's some trade rumors that a possible trade for Garnett to the Atlanta Hawks for Josh Smith. I don't know if that really is going to help the Atlanta Hawks, who don't seem to come up with big games this year.
The Hawks had a shot last year with the team they had. It was a young team, but they were good. They meshed together. They had good chemistry.
You know, when one of your best players is Jerry Stackhouse, who's very old, you don't really want to bring in Garnett, who's, you know, at the end of his career. That seemed... I don't think that would be a good trade. But the story here, Rajon Rondo, amazing game. 20 assists, the most assists in a game so far in the NBA. He's really turning one of the elite point guards. Can he lead the Celtics to a big run?
I don't think one man can. You need a whole team. Because Rajon Rondo, he's great, but he can't play every position.
You know, they were the big three, and 3 guys, not 1 guy. I don't see it. They're going to make the playoffs. You know, they're not going to go that far. They're not going to go that far. The Knicks are a better team. There's a lot of better teams. And I don't see the Celtics as a championship contender yet. All right, go.
Well, now we move on to Rory McIlroy, that kid from Northern Ireland. I mean, what a sensation. He's got a scoring average of about 67, that's under 3 for most courses. That's unheard of. And this week with his win at the Honda Classic, he moves up to #1 in the world. And he says from the first day he held up a golf club, he wanted to be #1. And it was kind of ironic because Tiger, he was at the Honda Classic, same tournament. He, like Rory as a child, always looked up to him. And he was #1 for 2, 3 years straight. And now with this big win, he says it's a great feeling. He shook Tiger's hand, so obviously they're on good terms. And he seems like a good kid. So what do you have to say about that, Rob?
Rory McIlroy is a great golfer. You know, I don't really like the sport that much, but I will say this, you know, is getting away from the Tiger days. No more really him that much. He was, I guess he had his time, but it looks like it's over. I mean, he was one of the supreme athletes of the most recent decade, and
it's almost a changing of the guard.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Speaking of pretty cool, how about that Duke-UNC game?
Oh my God. As a personal Maryland fan, I hate Duke. I've never liked them. Coach K, he's a good guy, but I hate Duke. And I was so happy to see that win by North Carolina.
You know, unbelievable talent from those players in that game. You got, I would say, maybe 3 potential top 10 first-round picks in Henson, Zeller, Barnes, Rivers. Seth Curry. I mean, unbelievable talent from those players. But, you know, rankings, they don't tell you that much. As you can see, UNC beat them by a good 20 points. It was a blowout, I gotta say.
That was, I mean, you got Tyler Zeller, the kid's an animal. He's got, this week there were some talks about maybe his brother's better than him, but I think he put those to bed.
You know, I really like Rivers, though. I really do think Rivers will go high. If there's one player that I think has a chance to go top 5, I think it is Austin Rivers. I think he's a great player. He's living up to the expectations, and I do think he will succeed in the NBA when he gets to that level.
What do we got next?
You know, recently Bud Selig just came out with this new playoff expansion. Now, this hasn't happened since '94. I don't know. I mean, the feedback is it's not going to be a good idea. But I'll tell you this, from my standpoint, baseball, you did a great job. You did a fabulous job. There's not that many days in baseball where that day in baseball is on the global agenda. Everybody turns on ESPN to watch this baseball game. Now there's the World Series, there's 7 games, you know, people, it's not that popular. Opening day, you open up in Japan now? I never liked that idea. It's America's game. You don't open up in Japan.
Good point.
It's the game in Cincinnati where baseball begun, and it's a day game. And it starts with the Reds and another team a day before the season starts. You call that opening day, and everybody watches it. It's a great day for baseball fans. It's a day to miss school. It's a day to talk about with your friends. But baseball, it doesn't have that anymore. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I think even spring training should sort of take that kind of hiatus as a top tier, because I mean, it's the first day of baseball. It's been all winter. You're cold. You're frosty. You want to break off the ice, and you come out and you want to watch spring training. And I mean, we got the Yankees and the Phillies at 105. We got the Mets and the Washington Nationals. That should be a good game at 6:10. And then on March 6th, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the New York Yankees and the Mets versus the Astros.
But what I like that baseball is doing is that they added this extra wild card for this game. That's going to be very exciting. Now we're going to open this up to the fans and see what we're saying. We got a caller here from Long Island, Alfred Karate from the island. Let's see what he's got to say. Al, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good.
All right. I just want to call about this wild card situation. You know, they're saying that they're going to extend the wild card to an extra team. I mean, what good does this do? All it does is extends the playoffs, and arguably a boring system already. How could they extend this and then make it another week? And then they're going to make the World Series on October 24th. Baseball fans are going to be tired of baseball. What do you say?
I've always kind of felt that at the end of the postseason, it's almost like, all right, great, maybe my team won the World Series, but now baseball's over. What am I going to do now? What am I going to watch basketball? Crazy.
You know, I think it's going to benefit some of the teams in the AL East. Like, as long as you're not the Yankees or Boston, you're going to be loving this because you're going to get another shot at being in the playoffs. But as far as everybody else, I don't think it's going to affect the league. I mean, it's going to affect the trade deadline in the middle of summer. It's going to have a lot of implications that I think the league's not going to like. So I don't know.
Well, Al, I hate to cut you off, but my producer says we're running out of time. This has been W-VHS, The Enthusiast. We'll see you later.
See you next week.